I am here to show you how to use an open-ended session for office hours as well as an open-ended session to use for a lecture room. If you don't want to keep track of multiple links and schedule lots and lots of sessions, you can actually use the open-ended room that is either already available in your course shell or is one that you create yourself. So I am going to go to Blackboard Collaborate. Open my room up a little bigger here. And I have two rooms already available. This room right here is automatically created by Blackboard Collaborate in each of your individual course shells. So you could use this as your lecture room if you wanted to. I've selected this particular one in my microbiology course as the room I'll be using for my office hours. So all I did is I came over to this open-ended room. This is an open session. I'll show you what that looks like. Down here at the bottom, it is, I have my session's opened. So it's an open-ended session. Because this is the one that is created by Blackboard, I can't adjust the dates on it. It's always left as open-ended. So I have this as my office hours, and I will use this link in all of my classes for my office hours. So anytime I am attending office hours, I simply open up this room, and then any student from any of my other courses will have a link to it, and they can enter in here for office hours. So I simply go to my session options and copy the link. I now am going to open Blackboard, open D2L in another window just to make it easier for me. I then go to the course in which I want to create this. So I already did this in my microbiology course. I'll show you what that looks like. So I open this course, and I've created an announcement for my students so they can access everything very easily. So I will create a new announcement. And of course, title your announcement. So I'm going to put training. And in here, I will don't use the link button. You want to use insert stuff. And at the bottom, insert a link. Paste the link to your room. Click next. Now the text that you want. So this is for office hours. So I just type office hours. Insert. Wow. And now the link to my office hours Blackboard room is listed as office hours, and it's not some strange long link that students may not recognize. This makes your office hours link very recognizable and easy for students to access. I'm also going to go back to Blackboard Collaborate and show you how to do the same thing, but with your lecture hall. So now I'm back in my classroom. This is the lecture hall that I created for my students. So I'm going to open this. And at the bottom, I just simply left no end, click on no end, and now my room is an open-ended. You see that the end date and time is grayed out. This means that my session is open-ended. I select save, and now this hall is open. Anytime I'm going to meet my students online, I will meet them in this lecture hall. So I'm going to go ahead and enter into the lecture hall and join the session. I'll record this session just for a few seconds so I can show you that the recording will show up. So now my session is being recorded. I'll hit a few tools just so I can maybe get a record. So I have something actually recorded. I'm not recording any sound now. I'm just showing that this is being recorded. I'm going to close this, end my recording, and hopefully it will render into Blackboard fairly soon. Blackboard is lagging right now on its posting its recordings. So I'm going to now open my menu here, access my recordings, and look for the recording that I just created, which I don't think is here. But I'm going to go ahead and use a recording that I made earlier. So here's just a little short one from a training session I did. I'm going to select the link and copy it. Go back to my announcements, the announcement that I was creating, which is in another tab. I'm now going to do the same thing. Insert stuff, select link, paste the link, and since this is my classroom, I'm just going to say my awesome new classroom. Insert that link, and now the students can tell the difference. This is my office here. This is the classroom they will enter during their regular class time. And you can post this, do this insert stuff tab here. Always use that to insert your link, so you can give the link a different name, whatever you want it to be. You can still do individual sessions if you want to, but this is just a nice way to prevent having to use multiple rooms. We'll go back to Blackboard Collaborate and let's see if our recording has rendered yet. Okay, I had to wait for a few minutes for Blackboard to render that recording, so now I want to show you where the recording is and how you can embed that into your content. So I used an open-ended session to create a lecture. So I lectured with my students and I recorded the lecture. This will only work if you remember to record. So make yourself a little note and a little sticky note and put it on your computer to remember to hit record for your session. So I have recorded that little 4-second entry into that open-ended classroom. So now I'm going to go to my recordings. And right here is my recording, the one I made today on March 20th. I come over here and I copy the link to that recording. I'm now going to, instead of put this in my announcement, I'm going to go to my content because I want to make this lecture was on, say, antibiotics. So I'm going to come down to my unit on antibiotics. And I'm going to create, I'm going to create a new submodule. My submodule is going to be my recorded lectures. Now in your newly created submodule, you can now upload and embed the lecture that we did on antibiotics. So I go to upload and create, and I'm going to upload a link. So I create a link. I put in the title, antibiotic, I can spell antibiotic lecture. And here I paste the link to the recorded lecture. I hit create. Don't do the external resource. It'll embed directly in D2L, then the students never have to leave. So just click create. And now my Blackboard lecture is now embedded directly into my module. So when my students want to go and look for the antibiotic lecture, they just go to that unit, they click on antibiotic lecture, and the lecture will pop up. And they can watch it directly in Blackboard, and they can even enlarge it if they want to, or they can leave it in its original size. So that is how you can use open-ended sessions, and it's a much easier way to manage links, and the only place that you will have multiple links that you have to manage will be in the actual recorded room or area in Blackboard Collaborate. Students can access that room, but it may be easier for you to just provide the lectures here. It takes an extra 30 seconds and it will make life a lot easier and much simpler for both you and your students. So I hope that was helpful and you're able to use some of that. Have a great day. Good luck on Monday.